All right. Oh, that's right on my glasses. Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday. I found out this cool thing. I guess everybody knew you could do that. You could add a gift to your video. I didn't know. Now I know. So it is the start of fall. It is September, which means we are going to start talking about spooky things, all things scary. So we're going to talk about safety this month. All month of September, we're going to be talking about different levels of safety within viewing a home, within purchasing a home, once you're in a home. So we're going to go week by week. This week we're going to do showing safety. After that, we're going to do contract safety. September 21st, we're going to do protecting the home and everything within, and keeping that safe. And then we're going to talk about new homeowner safety last. So that's what we're going to do the last week of September before we roll in to the really scary month. So today we're going to talk about showing safety. Know who you show. As a realtor, we want to make sure that we know who we're showing, so we'll usually ask for IDs. If you already know them personally, then they may not ask for that. If you know us on a personal level, if you know Billy and Stacy personally, you know me personally, then I probably won't ask for that. But if we haven't met before, that's something that your agent will probably ask for if they don't already ask for it when they meet you that first time in that consultation appointment. Another thing you should be aware of, did the agent that you're working with ask for your ID if you don't know them personally? If you don't know that agent on a personal level, have you looked them up on Trek? Make sure that their license is still active. Make sure that they truly are an agent that is active and working in production right now. We all want to assume the best in people, but we need to protect ourselves and prepare for the worst. So if you are going on a showing with an agent you don't know, just check them out. You can go into Trek and you can see when their license was activated. You can see if they've gone inactive, how long they've been licensed, all that cool stuff. But it's just another way to protect yourself so you know who you're meeting. Another good way for you as a buyer, if you don't know them personally, again, if you do, then great, but go check out their website, check out reviews, things like that, so you can kind of get an idea of who you're working with. But your agent, if they don't know you, they'll probably ask you for IDs. So that's the first thing. Second thing is when we actually get to the house. This is the part where you really want to keep your eyes, where you really want to keep your eyes peeled. So, I just realized I don't have music going. It's awfully quiet in here. So keep your eyes peeled. So as a realtor, one thing that I'm doing when I first get there, which should be before you get there, if we're seeing multiple properties, then I'll probably only beat you to the first one, since you'll probably be tailgating behind me to the next one. So we keep our eyes open, stay cautious of our surroundings. Do we see people kind of walking up and down on the street? Great, we kind of get a feel for the neighborhood, but do we have anything that's really standing out and making us feel uncomfortable? Take a look at the house. This is going to sound crazy. Does the house look like it's been broken into? You never know. It can happen in any neighborhood. It can happen to any house, especially if the home is vacant and the sellers have already moved out. If the home is vacant, there's a risk of squatters being there. So those are things that we'll look for signs of. I have been to a showing with a client. This is when I first got licensed. This is one of my very first clients. And we went to go look at a house. And from the pictures on MLS, it was beautiful, fully updated. It was a home probably built 60, 70 years ago. So it was an older home, been fully updated. We get out there, and I beat my client there. I get up to the front door, and I notice that the home's off of a main road, which we already knew based on the maps and things like that. But we're a lot closer than we thought. And I get up to the front door, and I notice that the doors have like plywood in the windows, and the lock looks like the door looks like it, frankly, it looks like it'd been kicked in. So I quickly called the listing agent and I said, when is the last time that you've been at this property? Because it looks like A, there's squatters, and B, the door looks like it's been busted in. So, I was a new, fresh agent, probably not the smartest thing, but I walked in, because I didn't really notice the damage to the door until I was opening the door. And so as I kind of peeked my head in, I noticed that I could see straight back to the kitchen, and the window was open. There was plywood on all the other doors, which the listing agent said was done to protect the glass because they put in new windows. But that window was not. That plywood had been removed, and that window was wide open, and the attic door was open. It looked like there were squatters there. Whether they were dangerous or not, we don't know. So we left. We said it's not safe for us to be here. Whether or not there's somebody in the house right now, we don't know. And with the condition of the home, we left. And we went on to the next house. And they really wanted to go look at it again. And that's up to them if they want to go look at a home that kind of had that risk already. If we know that there's squatters, well, we don't know, but we thought there were squatters there, then it's something to be concerned about. It's, for the safety of, maybe the neighborhood, but that's one of the reasons we go out at the times that we do. A lot of times we'll do showings on the weekends, sometimes late afternoon, early evenings. You really get a feel for the neighborhood, so you can see your neighbors, and you really get a feel for my family. Me and my husband, we're backyard people. We don't want to hang out with our neighbors unless we like them. So we're not hanging out in the front yard. And my sister's family, that's them 100%. They hang out in the front yard. All their neighbors are out. They've got coolers and all the parents are hanging out. That's not us. We're backyard people. We hang out in our backyard with our little oasis. And if we invite you, you're more than welcome to come. So that's another good reason why we go out. Has nothing to do with safety. It just popped in my head. So another thing that we're looking for, how does the home look? Sign of squatters, break-ins. The next thing that we're going to do, let's say we walk in, everything looks normal, looks like a perfectly normal house. If I beat you there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk in and I'm going to shut the door and I'm going to lock it. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough of the house. I am usually carrying pepper spray, taser, something like that, so that if there is somebody there that, gives me enough time to get out and call 911, get back into my car, and then let the police do what they do best and then give you a call and tell you to hold off. But what we also do during the showings is we make sure the doors are locked. So once I've gone through, I've made sure that the house is clear. Everything is good. I'll turn on the lights. You guys get there and we'll walk through the house. You'll notice we'll lock the door behind you as you come on in. We're not locking you in, not trying to trap you. This is just a safety feature. I would hate for us to be upstairs looking at the media room or game room, in maybe a room that is soundproof, and us not hear somebody walk through that front door and we don't know who that person is. Could be another family with another showing scheduled. Could be a nosy neighbor that saw people going in, thought it was an open house, thought they would go in as well. Could be the worst. Could be somebody trying to break in and, scope out the house and, prepare for something worse. So that's something that we always do. We just lock the door, make sure that everybody is safe, and then we'll continue on with our showing. And another reason we lock the door is this has actually happened before, where we'll be in a showing and somebody will just come and knock on the door. And during COVID, it was super common to have multiple showings happening at the same time. You'd see other agents, you'd see other buyers. I mean, there'd be lines out the door. So that wasn't super uncommon. But sometimes people are just curious and they see a door or a sign in the yard and they'll come knock on the door and just bluntly ask, hey, can I come in and take a look? So some people don't knock. So we lock the door, keep everybody safe. Now, safety within the home. This is our structures and system safety. We're looking at, and we talk about this a lot, but we're going to repeat it, and I'll probably repeat it every video forever. We're looking at the 4 major structures and systems of your home. We're looking at the foundation. Are there signs of cracks as you walk in the house? Are the doors not closing or not lining up properly? Are there gaps and spacing around the door frames? You'll notice it a lot around, there's a window next to me, which is why I looked that way. Not that y'all can see that, but it's normally around doorways and windows that you'll kind of see that crack. Not a foundation expert, just from our experience and what we've seen in the many homes that we have helped people purchase and sell. Second thing, plumbing. How old is the home? What does the plumbing look like? If this home was built 100 years ago, that plumbing may not be holding up very much longer. I'd like to think that if it is that old that it has been replaced. Hopefully all PVC and looking great, but sometimes it doesn't. So you want to look into that. Is there water pooling? Turn on the faucets, turn on the sinks, flush the toilet, test it. See if the water is going. Turn on the sink in the kitchen. See if the hot water turns on. Is there flooding in the bathtubs? If you turn the water on the bathtub for like 2 or 3 minutes, does it drain or does it sit there? Just little things like this that you can take note of while you're in the home, but a lot of people don't think about it because you're so caught up in the oohs and the ahs, and how beautiful it is, whether or not you like the style, the color scheme, the floor plan, the neighborhood, which is all great. But if those things start checking your boxes and it's oohs and ahs, let's start looking at the things that could be decision makers for us. And the foundation could be one. Foundation work can be expensive, and foundation is not, if it is when in Texas, because our soils are always shifting, so there will be foundation work done at some point on the home. And if you are going FHA, that may be a requirement. That if the home's foundation is in enough need of repair, it may need to be repaired before they will even finance and insure that loan. Same thing with plumbing. Electrical, here's a fun one. A lot of people DIY, and you'll notice the older the home is, sometimes there's more DIY. Let's think about electrical panel boxes. Are you seeing wires come out of the wall and then go back in the wall and then maybe come back out and then back up through the ceiling? Are there exposed wires around the water heater, the electrical system, hanging loose in the garage, in the closets? Really, we're just trying to get any sense of red flags for our safety concerns. Last thing, which is really a tough call because it's hard to see from the ground when I'm all of 5'1" on a good day. But the roof, how does the roof look? Is it there? If it's there, we're at a great starting point. I've yet to see a house where a roof isn't there, but it could happen. So is the roof there? How does it look from a quick glance? Do we see like ripples and waves? Do we see shingles sticking up? Does it look like the chimney's crooked? Just little things like that. Let's see if we can see anything. Now, roofs are hard. The great thing is that if you do like the home and you do go under contract and you're in your option period, foundation and roofers will come out for free and take a look and put together a report and an estimate if they think work needs to be done. So that's one of the amazing things that they do. But that's it. That's all I have for today's safety talk. Next week, we are going to talk about contract safety and how to protect yourself as a buyer within the contract, within the addendums, and depending on what kind of financing you use, down payment assistance, and there. So I will see everybody on the 14th. Today's the 7th. That's easy math for me. We'll be back on the 14th, and we'll talk more about safety as we roll into the fall months. Have a great week, guys. Bye.